All right, what's going on, man? Anyhow, so yeah, man. I got my first comment, and I appreciate the comment because it's true. Like it's like true, straight shooter, man. Just like, and I really appreciate that. And and so I wanted to talk about the comment because it's true, and I wanted to kind of, you know, share my feelings and views on it. Is that the comment basically was saying, maybe go a little easier on, when I'm sharing my whatever I'm sharing is to, not be an asshole, not be such an asshole. And it's true. It's true. This is very true. And I won't make apology for my temperament necessarily, though I must say that is true. I got nothing against, for example, I was talking about these shit hits the fan kind of channels and people that are, proclaim themselves to be like shit hits the fan people that preppers and, when the shit hits the fan, they're all prepped up and they're gonna take care of business and all this and that. And I was just kind of laughing at the ones that like these shit hits the fan guys that are actually, they drink alcoholically and they're addicted to THC and who knows other kinds of drugs and shit. And just kind of laughing at the idea of these people, if they were really in a shit hits the fan situation, they wouldn't last 24 hours before they start going into detox and like shaking like a leaf and sweating and hallucinating, giant pink elephants and shit like this because they're chronic alcoholics or whatever. But that isn't funny to laugh at them or to express prejudice toward them. I don't. I mean, I can come across like that. I mean, so it's true. I really ought to not do that. And, and so maybe I will start making an attempt to just in a general way, not be so harsh and judge, or try not to come across harsh and judgmental, And I appreciate the comment. I really do. I have done a lot of videos on YouTube and BitChute over the last 6 years. I probably averaged 2 or 3 videos a week for the last 6 years. Up until about, 3 or 4 months ago, I threw in the towel because it's starting to get, pretty insane online. And I've had unbelievable things happen to me, and, just like unbelievable stuff, that you would only see on a David Lynch film or something, like watching, some crazy David Lynch film. It's totally unreal. And this is like a direct result of me doing a channel and putting out videos. I've had like super insane shit happen to me. And I'm not alone. I had the most severe incident. One of the biggest fucking events I've ever experienced in my life happened a couple of years ago that was directly related to my channel and the controversy of my channel. And so, but I kept going anyways for another 2 years. And then, but it didn't, it's just, whatever. So I'm laying low, man. I'm not putting myself out there anymore, And there's some really great people that I've gotten to interact with online as a result of doing the channel. The only thing though is there's mobs, the hive mind mobs and the mobs of sheeple and stuff. They're just there's I saw this like meme somewhere that said never underestimate the power of a large group of stupid people. And so, for every one great interaction or person that I was able to interact with online, it was like 30 to 50 or so, just like negative interactions with, the hive mind and and so, and it just, I can't do it alone. I can't just be out here on the firing lines by myself without any backup. And I did it for 6 years. So, but now I'm not putting myself out there anymore like that. At least for now. But I'm old too, It's like younger people could pick up the torch or whatever. And I had a very specific focal point of my content. Basically, it had to do with, what society terms the homeless. That was my main focus, was the homeless, and just basically, doing a massive 6-year deep dive into the whole concept of homelessness. What is it? Like, how does it relate with everything like genocide and oppression and all these other things? And it's such a vast and deep subject, and it's like totally directly related with all these sexy hot topics, but nobody's connecting the dots at all except for me. Like, I'm the only one on virtually the only one online. And when I say that, I mean my channel was focused on that. It wasn't just like, oh, every fucking 100 videos. Well, let me show you. Let's go back to the homeless issue and connect the dots some more. It was like, no, every video was, look, don't you see how all this connects? But, anyways, so now I'm just kind of like doing videos to, whatever. But the impact, I would like to do them, but my life, I'm not ready to die for that. There was a time in my life where I would die for the cause, and maybe I still have that in me, but I'm old, dude. I'm fucking old. I don't have the resilience of like a 28-year-old or a 32-year-old. I don't have it no more. Or maybe I do, and I just don't want it. I just don't have it to give anymore. You know what I mean? Sometimes a person just has to let shit go and just accept it for what it is, and it can be really unfortunate. Yeah. Like if the hospitals are killing people and you're trying to spread the word and tell everybody, and everybody's ignoring you. 90% or more of your audience is just like acting like you're some crazy lunatic. Well, no matter how true it is, at some point, if people aren't receptive to it, it's time to just accept that that's the fact. But anyways, going back to just like the comment and everything. Yeah, I'm kind of. I've always, that's very true. I really just need to chill out on that. And I'm a work in progress. That's something that, I've always kind of felt that YouTube and these platforms like YouTube and BitChute were just kind of a tool that I could use to just vent my frustration. To vent my frustration without burdening, people around me. And that if like audience, if other YouTubers want to listen to me vent, that's fine, and just put it out there. But I didn't really understand, and I still kind of don't, the backlash, like the repercussions, because I could be totally vindicated in my frustration that I'm expressing in a video, But that doesn't matter, because if people take it the wrong way, or if people get offended by it, then it doesn't really matter how vindicated I am in doing it. Like, you know, if people are so if the majority of people are not receptive to this, whatever truth I'm expressing, then it doesn't matter how right I am in expressing that truth, because the consequences are going to be, you know, detrimental to me and stuff. So I do, yeah. But also, if I want people to receive, you know, any little gems of wisdom that I might have, but you know, the other thing though, the other side of that though, is when the urgency like becomes great, where it's like, this message really needs to get out, and we really don't have time to be sensitive towards people's feelings, because this is some serious shit. Where, you know, it becomes a lot more difficult to filter things, because it's like, if something really is serious, and it just, like, there's no time to be sensitive towards the feelings of others because of the urgency of the message, then you know, that becomes a major challenge, you know. And so yeah, there's just a lot of factors that come into play. And I do have a bad habit of, maybe, you know, I don't know, I guess I'm a little harsh in my views and stuff sometimes, but I don't mean to be, you know. And like, going back to like people that drink alcoholically and use drugs, I got nothing against them personally. I love them. Like, I have friends that are like that, and they're like, some of them are fucking, they're just great, you know, people, you know. They're just like, there's nothing per se wrong with them, and I got nothing against them, you know. And so there's another saying though, to help kind of like put this into context, is there's a saying that I heard when I was in jail in Seattle one time back in the 90s. Some inmate that was in the general population with me in the King County jail, he said it, and it's always stuck with me because it's so true. He said there's two things I can't stand: a drunk person when I'm sober, and a sober person when I'm drunk, you know. And it's like so fucking true. So, because I've abstained from all drugs and alcohol for over almost 23 years now, and so, but I used to drink and do drugs. I used to fucking, you know, I used to hit the shit hard, you know. So I never really realized that until I experienced the other side of the tracks, so to speak, you know. Once I quit drinking and using, I started realizing how annoying, you know, drunks and drug addicts are. And again, I have nothing against them, dude. I love them, dude. You know, you don't even know. I could do a fucking long ass video. Like, I used to do needle exchange. I mean, you know, but I was doing needle exchange 6 years into my abstinence from drugs and alcohol. And I continued that for like 10 years. But, you know, and I fucking, you know, I got nothing but heart for these guys, because they're getting poisoned. The beast system is just poisoning them, you know. At the same time though, you know, I gotta take care of myself. But yeah, I can come across very harsh and judgmental towards that lifestyle, and I really want to clarify that is not the case. I understand all of this, even though it may not seem like I do. I do get it, and I got nothing to get. Man, have a drink for me. If you can drink and not become an alcoholic and all this, please have a drink for me. If you're drinking alcoholically though, man, and you're into survivalists and all this other kind of shit, and you're into like connecting the dots and trying to understand the conspiracies that are going on in the world today, you're never going to understand the conspiracies, you're never going to connect the dots, and you're never going to really fully be effective in a shit hits the fan scenario if you drink alcoholically and or do drugs, including marijuana. unfortunately, this is the truth. Is you're not going to be effective in a shit hits the fan scenario. I don't care how much you know about survival tactics and all this stuff. If you got to if you got to put a 12 pack of beer in your bug out bag, dude, you're not gonna make it, man. And you know, and a quarter pound or half a pound of weed, you got that taking up space in your bug out bag and all this stuff. Like, dude, it's time. If you're really serious about this stuff, about being prepped to bug out in a bug out shit hits the fan scenario, and you really want to understand what's going on, connecting the dots and all this wacky conspiracy shit that's going on in the world today, and you really want to, you know, understand this kind of stuff, and you're drinking a 12 pack a day, or even like a 6 pack a day every day, and you got to smoke 3 joints in the morning and 3 joints in the afternoon, and 3, like, these things are, you're not, it's time to put that shit away, man. That's for children. It's time to put the children's toys away and start, and start playing with the adult toys, the survival gear, and just that shit's got to go. All those childish toys, they got to go. It's really time. And stop if you're like one of these people that has to have a 12 pack of beer in your bug out bag, maybe take a break from teaching people shit hits the fan tactics and start listening to other people who also have input on shit hits the fan and survival tactics and stuff like this. Because you might come across somebody like me who's going to say, "Hey, bro, it's great that you have all this knowledge on survival stuff, but if you've got to pack booze and weed and all this and DMT and all this other stupid shit in your bug out bag, then you got a problem, man. It's time to reassess and start looking at, start getting rid of the childish toys and really fucking start getting serious about this, man." Anyway, that's it.